Kathy Azar is the founder, owner, operator, and lead photographer for Kathy Azar Photography, a leading portrait and sports photography studio in Chester County. Kathy is a 1988 graduate of Great Valley, a former member of our cheerleading squad, a role that she continued through college. She began her professional life as an elementary school teacher. She's a self-confessed light chaser, Maine enthusiast, dog lover, as well as being an artist and entrepreneur. Her business has grown and expanded over the years and is considered by many to be the finest portrait studio in Chester County. I myself am going to confess that I absolutely love your sports photography. I'm amazed at your ability to capture the moment as well as the athleticism of athletes in motion, especially. We have some of your work done here for the football team and others, and you do a lot of work with East. So it's amazing how you can pick up that spirit of competition. So number one, thank you for speaking with us today and welcome.
Thank you. My pleasure. This is excellent.
Good. Let's get started, shall we? Kathy, as I said in the intro, you were an elementary school teacher first, coming out of college. That's a pretty safe and secure job. You know you're going to get a paycheck every week, and yet you decide to strike out and follow a passion?
In a way, I actually stopped teaching to raise my children first. And then I considered going back to teaching, but at the same time that I was considering going back, when my son, who is now a senior in high school, was going into first grade, so he would be in school all day, affording me a little bit of time, my older child, a daughter, ended up with chronic kidney disease and was in and out of the hospital a lot. So there was no way I could have gone back to a full-time teaching job. But I've always loved photography ever since I was a little kid. The flash bulbs that you and I know, but probably most kids don't these days. It's the same as the little flash thing that pops up on your camera now. I was fascinated with those. I brought along, this was one of our family's scrapbooks. You can see how loved, it has no cover, the pages are coming off. I just loved looking through pictures. And then when I was in high school and college, I would put together my own kind of scrapbooks. I mean, they're pretty poor compared to what I can do now, but grew into doing that. And the whole time I was taking pictures of my own kids and of my son's baseball games. And that's where it really started, with my son's baseball games. I started with the hardest thing there is to shoot, sports. And people started saying, we really need to pay you for these. We really need to do this. And I just didn't have the self-confidence. And then we moved here and I continued to do that. And my sister said, you really, really, really need to do this. And so I started thinking about it and decided if I was going to do this, I needed to take some classes. I couldn't just keep shooting in auto with the camera that I had. So I bought a better camera, a better lens, and I took some classes through Mainline School Night and read about anything I could get my hands on. Hired a college student who was a photography major to come sit with me and teach me how to edit and hone my photography skills. And about that time, we had Renee Talley of Flowers and More. It's another entrepreneur. She came to do some work at our house and she said, what do you do? And I said, well, I'm kind of thinking about starting a photography business. And she said, well, I'm in a business networking group called Le Tip, and we just lost our photographer and we're looking for a new one. You should come to the meeting. This was a Thursday. I, at that point, did not have a website. I did not have a business card, but by Tuesday morning at the meeting, I had a website and I had a business card, and that was the start.
What do you think are those personal characteristics, those personality traits that someone needs coming in to start their own business?
When I thought about this, I was talking to a friend about, what did I possess? And I said, I'm just stinking stubborn. I wasn't going to fail. And she said, Kathy, that's called perseverance. I was like, well, I was stubborn. And I was in a committee at church, and a guy bought me this book, Grit. You've heard the book Grit, right? And he said, I want you to read this. I think you're going to recognize yourself in it. And I think that's it. I think I'm just gritty. I was just not going to fail. I was going to do everything I could to make it succeed. I was going to work super hard, stay up super late, and just do the things. It wasn't a question of not succeeding.
Kathy, You're an artist. Everything about you exudes art and artistic expression and artistic talent, but there also is that dollars and cents side to a business. Was that part intimidating, or again, did the business group give you enough confidence and enough support to make that part at least manageable for you starting out?
That was the scariest part for me because I knew nothing about that. Trying to figure out how to get your EIN number and paying sales taxes every quarter and things like that I had no idea. But if you're an entrepreneur, you don't do it alone. That's another big tip for people wanting to start their own business is use the people around you who've walked the path before. Find a mentor, have someone help you.
How important is it to get to know the people who can help you in your immediate area as being a small business owner?
I think it's huge to support each other. And sometimes it's people who can help you, and sometimes it's people that you can help. You don't always want to be that person who says, give me, give me, give me, give me. You need to be willing to help those other people. You mentioned makeup artist. Vula has a studio above me, and we work together on projects all the time. She does all the makeup for all of my seniors and headshot clients who want it. I also work with Locklear Mansion down the street, the place in front of Home Depot. They're friends of mine, and I've done a lot of work for them just because I loved that property ever since growing up in the area. I wanted to help document the restoration, so I've done that for them. I'm a big proponent of helping other people, and I even have other photographers that I work with a lot who, I mean, they're my competition, but we work together to help each other grow. You know, the rising tide lifts all ships. And in return, it's great. I threw my back out right after Christmas, and I had a family photo shoot that I was supposed to do, and I literally could not move. And so I called Mary and said, hey, Mary Parnell of Pickle Puss Photography, she's a great Valley mom too, can you do it? And she took my family and was able to take it for them. They couldn't do another date because they had kids from college coming in, and she handled them beautifully. And it's awesome to know I can trust somebody else to have my quality work and will take care of the family in the same way that I would. So that's important.
Kathy, in your business, you're the boss. It's your name on the sign, your name on the business cards. What's the best part about being the boss?
Creative control for me, being able to do what I want to do, how I want to do it. I am a perfectionist, so that I know that when anything that's leaving my studio is met with my standards, because I'm the one doing it. And that's also a tricky part, though, because I need to be expanding. I'm at the point where I have so much work, I can't handle it all on my own, and need to be able to trust other people to do it and train them. But so that's the best and the worst of it, is being your own boss.
Is that the advantage to being an entrepreneur, to being able to pursue things that are fun for you?
Absolutely. I sometimes have grand ideas, though, and I need to be reined in to because I could go, I can do this and I can do this and I can do this and I can do that. So I need to focus on what I actually can do and grow that way. But I love being able to call the shots, make my own hours. I love working with the kids. Like you said, I'm a former elementary school teacher, really love kids. And I've found that the high school kids are equally as fun as the elementary school kids in just a different way. I love being on the sidelines when the kids get to know me. That's the kind of stuff that I just floats my heart.
You are, in a lot of ways, still a teacher at heart, and you work
Yes.
with kids all the time, athletes, and in your portrait business. If a high school senior or high school junior came up to you and said, you know, I've got a passion, I've got a talent, I'd like to start my own business, what words of advice would you give them?
First, learn everything that you can. A mentor is great. I actually work with some high school students and college students and teaching them. And be willing to chase your dreams, but you need to be willing to work hard. You need to be willing to put in the effort, the training, the learning, and make sure that you can support yourself. Can you pay the rent? You might need to do something else along with it while you grow that part of your business before you leave. But there's nothing better than seeing your dream come to fruition and being successful.
All right, Kathy, I want to thank you for participating in our series here. This was terrific. We love your enthusiasm and love your art. continued good luck to you, and we'll see you in the future. Thanks for talking to us today.
Oh, my pleasure. I enjoyed it very much.